There's a name whispered in WWE's darkest corridors. A bloodline so powerful, even Vince McMahon couldn't control it. This future champion is already watching, waiting, and when they strike, the entire wrestling world will never be the same. You're not ready for this. What if I told you that the next WWE Universal Champion is already in the building, not on the roster, not in NXT, but watching, learning, waiting? There's a bloodline. Secret WWE has been hiding for years, a name that makes Triple H nervous, a legacy so dangerous that when this future star finally steps into that ring, legends will fall, champions will fade, and history will be rewritten in blood, sweat, and dominance. You think you know who's next? You have no idea. This is the truth they don't want you to see. Let me take you back. Back before Roman Reigns became the tribal chief, before The Rock electrified millions, before the Anoa'i family became synonymous with wrestling royalty, there was a prophecy, not spoken in interviews, not written in WWE history books, but whispered between locker room veterans and old-school promoters who knew the business better than anyone. They said, when the time is right, a warrior will emerge, not from the spotlight, but from the shadows, trained in secret, built in silence. And when they arrive, they won't ask for respect. They'll demand it. They'll take it. They'll OWN it. The Harts, the Guerreros, the Flairs. But there's one bloodline that operates differently. They don't need the cameras. They don't need the scripts. They train their children in the old ways, the real ways. Submission holds that make grown men cry. Striking techniques passed down through generations. Ring psychology that turns a 3-minute match into a 15-minute masterpiece. And this future champion, they've been watching every WrestleMania, every Royal Rumble, every backstage betrayal. They've studied The Undertaker's mind games, Stone Cold's rebellion, Shawn Michaels' resilience, John Cena's never-give-up mentality, CM Punk's promos, and they've combined it all into something WWE has never seen before. But here's where it gets chilling. Triple H knows. He's seen the training footage. He's heard the rumors. And during a private meeting last year, one that was never recorded, never mentioned on WWE programming, he reportedly said, "We're not ready for this. The roster isn't ready. The fans aren't ready, but it's coming. And when it does, we either adapt or we get buried." What was he talking about? Who was he talking about? Let's dig deeper. This future star isn't just talented. They're obsessed. While other kids were playing video games, they were drilling suplexes on crash mats. While teenagers were at parties, they were studying Bret Hart's technical masterpieces frame by frame. While college students were chasing degrees, they were traveling the world. Learning from Japanese strong-style legends, Mexican Lucha Libre masters, and British technical wizards, their family made a decision early. If you're going to do this, you're going to be the best. Not for fame, not for money, but because this business deserves respect. And you will force them to respect you. The scary part, they've already been in WWE buildings. Not as a wrestler, but as a guest, as a visitor. Walking those halls, feeling that energy. Making eye contact with current superstars who have no idea what's coming for them. Some WWE legends have reportedly seen this person backstage and felt an unease they couldn't explain. Like a predator was studying them, measuring them, planning. One retired WWE Hall of Famer, who asked to remain anonymous, said, "I saw the way they moved, the way they watched. It reminded me of a young Rock, but hungrier, colder, more calculating. That's not a future star. That's a future problem." Now here's the part that changes everything. This future champion isn't just connected to one wrestling bloodline. They're connected to 3. And WWE has been keeping it quiet because if the fans knew, the hype would be uncontrollable. The pressure would be unbearable, and the expectations impossible. Let me break it down. Through a distant cousin marriage that happened in the early 1980s, this future star has ties to the legendary Anoa'i family. Not direct, not obvious, but the blood is there. And in Samoan wrestling culture, blood means everything. They've been trained in the same grueling boot camps that produced Roman Reigns, the USOs, and Rikishi. They know the traditions, they know the pride, and they know that carrying that name means you either dominate or you disappear. On their mother's side, there's a lineage that traces back to one of Mexico's most feared and respected wrestling families. We're talking about a family that built arenas, that headlined shows for 30 years straight, that taught Rey Mysterio and Eddie Guerrero some of their earliest moves. This future champion has the high-flying creativity, the lucha speed, and the ability to work a crowd into a frenzy that only comes from growing up in that culture. And here's the one that makes Vince McMahon's ghost sweat. There's a connection to a family that WWE erased from history after a bitter contract dispute in the 1990s. A family that walked away from guaranteed millions because they refused to play the game. A family that said, "We'll do it our way or not at all." That rebellious, anti-authority, burn-a-towel-down mentality, it's in this future champion's DNA. So what does this mean? It means WWE is sitting on a ticking time bomb, a performer who can work like a Samoan powerhouse, fly like a lucha star, and cut promos like an old-school American rebel. A performer who doesn't need a gimmick because they are the gimmick. A performer who will walk into that ring and make every current champion look like they're moving in slow motion. But here's the problem. WWE is terrified. Why? Because this future star doesn't want to play by the rules. They don't want scripted promos. They don't want 50/50th booking. They don't want to pay their dues in catering for 2 years. They want what they've earned. They want the main event. They want the title. And they want it now. Backstage sources say WWE has been in secret negotiations for over 18 months. Contract offers have been made and rejected. Creative pitches have been presented and laughed at because this future champion knows their worth. They know that WWE needs them more than they need WWE, and that power dynamic, it's something Vince McMahon never allowed. But Triple H's WWE, it's different. And that's why this might actually happen. There's also a rumor, unconfirmed, but spreading like wildfire, that this future star has a debut clause in their potential contract. It states that they must debut by attacking a current top champion. No build, no vignettes, just chaos, just shock, just a statement that says, "I'm here, and your era is over." Imagine this. Roman Reigns is standing tall after a brutal match. The lights go out, a new theme hits, and when the lights come back, this future champion is in the ring, face to face, eye to eye, and the tribal chief, for the first time in years, looks uncertain. That is the moment WWE is planning. And when it happens, the wrestling world will explode. So here's what you need to understand. This isn't a rumor, this isn't fantasy booking, this is real. There is a future WWE champion who is coming. They've been trained by the best, they carry the blood of legends, and they have zero fear, zero doubt, and zero patience. WWE knows it, the locker room feels it, and soon the entire world will see it. But here's the question that keeps me up at night. What happens when they finally arrive? What happens when this unstoppable force meets WWE's immovable objects? What happens when the old guard realizes they're no longer the future, they're the past? And more importantly, what happens when this future champion locks eyes with Cody Rhodes, with Seth Rollins, with Gunther, with the next generation of stars who think they're the future? Because here's the truth, there can only be one. And this hidden bloodline warrior, they're not coming to share the spotlight, they're coming to take it. The clock is ticking. The debut is closer than you think, and when it happens, remember, you heard it here first. If this video just blew your mind, smash that like button right now. Subscribe to Ring Legend WWE because we're the only channel bringing you these hidden WWE secrets before anyone else. Drop a comment below. Who do you think this future champion is? Do you have any guesses? Any theories? And hit that notification bell, because our next video is going to reveal the exact timeline of when this debut could happen. And trust me, it's sooner than you think. Let's build this community together. Let's be ready, because the future of WWE, it starts now.